customer approach you? At what stage they approach you for automation and incorporating automation in the industry?
Yeah. Now, the 20 rupees that we spoke, if I introduce an automation in the entire scenario, okay, this 20, I have an opportunity and a window to make it 19, 18, 16, 15 and so on.
There is a misconception because of automation, people lose their jobs. Is it true?
Our country, India, also has done a great amount of work in the recent past. We have been picking up very strongly, and since we are going to become a manufacturing hub in the upcoming 2 decades, of course, there's a lot of adaptation that is happening and will happen and continue to happen.
Talking about profitability, how does the competition affect the profitability in the industry?
One of the simple ways of being competitive is I have to look at these 3 costs again and see the opportunities where I can optimize and reduce.
Hello everyone, welcome to the podcast. As we all know, India will be the 3rd largest economy by 2030, and next 10 years are expected to be a fantastic year for our country. And industries are playing a crucial role in this growth. Today we have Mr. Srinivas Choudhary, co-founder and director at Alligator Automation India Pvt. Limited. Alligator Automation India Pvt. Limited has a strong vision of building Indian economy by innovating robotic packaging technology for the globe and contributing for GDP of our country towards 5 trillion economy. Let's discuss how industrial automation will boost industrial profitability and efficiency. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Saili.
Sir, what is industrial automation and why it is important in the industries?
So generally, if you talk about any manufacturing company, whether they are producing food, whether they are producing cement, whether they are producing chemical, let that be any sector. See, whatever they produce, they have to go through various processes of conversion of their raw material to a finished good.
Okay.
And generally, any automation would assist them in producing and automating their processes in a way benefiting them in a large way to increase their productivity, enhance their efficiency and so on. So, industrial automation is anyways a integral part of any manufacturing site at this point in time. And our country, India, also has done a great amount of work in the recent past. We have been picking up very strongly, and since we are going to become a manufacturing hub in the upcoming 2 decades, of course, there's a lot of adaptation that is happening and will happen and continue to happen. So that's how we look at it, and industrial automation is something which is essential and need for every manufacturing company to scale up their operations and increase their top lines and bottom lines.
What is profitability for manufacturing company, and can you explain components of the cost?
Okay. So generally, in a very simple language, if I have to explain the profitability on all the cost associated, let me explain you with the help of an example. Let's take an example where a company is producing cookies. Okay. So generally, the revenue of that company is the number of cookies that I'm able to sell and the money that I'm able to collect after I sell those cookies. Now on the cost side, if I have to break it down, there are 3 major costs that are associated for building that product. First is the raw material cost. In raw material cost, all the ingredients that goes into the cookies like wheat, maida, sugar and so on is nothing but the raw material cost. Second comes the direct cost. Direct cost is the cost which the company incurs in converting the raw material to a finished good. Okay, there are various costs associated with conversion. Conversion could be, let's say, mixing the ingredients, baking the ingredients, baking it into a cookie, packaging it. It could be then the warehouse and logistics cost and so on. So, okay, now on the cost side, the first cost is the raw material cost, which is nothing but what I explained is the ingredients that goes into making it. Second comes the direct cost, which is conversion cost. Okay. Third cost factor is the indirect cost. Indirect cost is nothing but the overhead. Okay. To simply understand, these are the fixed cost. Let's say it could be rental associated with the building. It could be my employee cost. it could be finance cost, and so on. There are various overheads of the company which are fixed in nature. Okay. So now raw material cost, indirect cost, and direct cost. If I add up all of this cost, whatever is remaining, okay, is nothing but my profit. So if I generate a revenue of 100 and I spend 50 on raw material, 20 on direct cost, 20 on indirect cost, so I'm left out with 10 units, which is nothing but my profit. So if I'm able to, now we can say that this company is able to make a profit of 10%, which is 10% of the revenue that I give. This is a very, in a simple language, this is how it all works.
Yeah, it's a very good example.
Yeah.
And where does the automation comes into the scheme?
Yeah. So now, generally speaking, as I explained, automation technically is the process in which it helps the industries make their processes automated. So it is like whatever I am trying to do manually, whether it is manual decision making, whether it is manual collaboration between the teams, whether it is people who are putting effort within the plant to move the goods from one place to the other, do some assembly job, do some material handling job. So all of that, okay, if I am doing manually and if I have a solution through which I can automate it, then what happens in all the cost heads that we saw, there is something called as the conversion cost, which is the direct cost, where you need some people, some labor to convert that into from one process to the other process. So now the 20 rupees that we spoke, if I introduce an automation in the entire scenario, okay, this 20, I have an opportunity and a window to make it 19, 18, 16, yes, 15 and so on. That is where the profitability factor from 10 units, I can gradually increase that percentage by percentage, and that is where the automation, industrial automation, help customers build in efficiency, reduce their direct cost, and ensure they are more profitable.
Yes. And talking about profitability, how does the competition affect the profitability in the industry?
Okay. See, today we are in this competitive world.
Yes.
Every company doing any product want to be competitive. Okay, right. Because of course you need to put the best of your products in the market, but at the same time you also have to be competitive.
Yes.
So being competitive definitely has an advantage where competitiveness can give you scales, give you the right reputation in the market, and so on and so forth. So there are multiple ways of being competitive. Okay, one of the simple ways of being competitive is I have to look at these three costs again and see the opportunities where I can optimize and reduce. Okay, where is my product wastage? Can I reduce my raw material consumption? Okay, a lot of industries work very hard on making their raw material consumption lower and lower. Secondly, can I reduce my direct cost? Major components in direct cost is conversion cost. So how do I look at this conversion cost? And how can an automation help reduce this conversion cost? That is where I can optimize my direct cost and increase my profitability. Now, if I want to work at, let's say, 10% margin, okay, and if I can reduce 2%, 2%, 2% on all my cost, so this 6% I can pass it on to my end user.
So making improvement in in-house process.
Yes, yes. And now if my product is made cheaper, I can sell it cheaper.
Right.
I can become more competitive in the market. Okay, it's all about bringing in those efficiencies in material consumption, in the conversion, efficiencies in the way I handle my finance, the way I handle my resources. The more efficient I am in business, the more competitive I am in the market.
We can say it's a healthy competitive nature to increase the production.
Yes.
Yeah, actually it's a helpful information. I want to ask you, can you please elaborate the benefits of industrial automation?
Okay. Yeah, so talking about benefits of industrial automation, the top two benefits in let's say the machine automation sector we are into is one would be the increase in productivity. When I say increase in productivity, so generally if I am doing a particular task a particular task in a manual fashion. Okay, let that be a pick and place of a certain product from one place to the other. Okay, it's something which many industries have to do this task day in, day out, at a consistent speed, at a consistent quality, and so on. Now, if I have a person doing it, I have X productivity.
Right.
Okay, and if a machine is doing it, I have X plus productivity. Why? Because machines don't get sick.
Right.
Humans get sick. Machines can work consistently throughout the day, but the efficiency of a manual person will not be constant throughout the day. There will be ups and downs.
Right.
And lastly, it is a very consistent process. With machines, I can do the same task repeatedly and consistently. Right. Okay, that is not there with a human intervention. So, just to give you an example, let's say I'm producing 1,000 units of a car. Okay. And with certain identification of bottlenecks, I can ramp up this production to, let's say, 10% higher. Okay, which is from 1,000 to 1,100 cars a day. Okay, so this 10% increase in productivity is a huge jump. Now, if I'm able to sell, my revenues will increase by 10%, and naturally, my profits will generally increase not by 10%, it will be increased by multifolds. Okay, this increase in profits will be surely above 10%. Okay, so that could be a game changer when it comes to increase in productivity. Even a 2%, 1%, 3% increase in productivity is a major game changer for many industries, which automation brings to the table. Second, and the most important talk subject is about reduction in manpower. Right. Okay, there have been multiple situations, as I recently explained, with people working in factories and with machines working in factory. There's a lot of efficiency that comes into the picture. And today's world, it is not just about saving in manpower. It is more about being independent and being more autonomous, which gives in the confidence and the scale and let's say the opportunity which the market can throw to me. Am I ready to serve the markets? And that, of course, is the automation is the right way of looking at it.
Yeah, to summarize it, we at the end we gain 100% efficiency and 100% productivity by using automation in the industry.
Yes, very much. So there are many industries and case studies available where we have two industries. One is very manual way of handling, the other is very automated way of handling. If you see these case studies, you will find people and companies who have adopted automation are futuristic, grows faster. Maybe the initially they have to spend little more in terms of capex, but in the long run,
they are earning more than the competitors.
Yes, they have a definite edge. There's a clear edge when I am placing my products in the market. If I am very efficient in my operations, which can only happen with automation in place.
My next question is, in India, where we are actually standing right now, and what is the situation in Indian industry?
Right. So, in general, if you understand, conventionally, India as a nation, we have had a huge resource pool with us. Okay, and whenever I, as a manufacturer, want to set up any unit, I look at opportunities and areas where automation is a real necessity. Okay, and there has been conventionally a thought process where you bifurcate between what is a real necessity, what is not really necessity, and what is a luxury in terms of automation within my plant. Okay, so people have been heavily investing on items which are really necessary, and there have been very low weightages on items which were not really necessary and which they were able to do with manual processes. But in the last decade or so, we have seen a big shift in where the companies, where the industries are perceiving and looking at these automations. So, comparing ourselves with West, of course, I would say we are 2 decades or 3 decades behind in terms of the kind of automations that we use in our industries. However, this is changing pretty fast. In the last 10 years, there have been a rapid boom and increase in how the adaptation of technology and automation have taken place. And in the next 10, 15 years, we see, I think this is going
definitely.
to take up pretty fast.
Everyone's want to grow. That's why everyone's
Yes.
incorporating automation in the
Yeah.
industry.
Yes, true.
Okay. And where does the customer approach you? At what stage they approach you for automation and incorporating automation in the industry?
Yeah. So generally, there are two categories here. One category is if I have to set up a new plant. Okay, we generally term that as a greenfield project.
Okay. What is greenfield project?
Greenfield project is like I want to set up the entire factory from scratch to the finished product. Okay. There, the customers involve us at the planning stage. So planning stage is even if before the building is ready. Okay, we work with our customers, making 3D plans and 2D plans and telling them what kind of space the machine will utilize, where is that my machine will be incorporated, and so on. So that we call as greenfield projects, where we are associated with our customers right from the beginning of the project at the planning stage itself. So while they are finalizing their civil layouts, we participate with our customers and be their partners from the start. There are also projects which are brownfield in nature. When you say brownfield, these are the projects where the customer is already having a running plant. Okay, so he is already producing, the processes are on, the production is running, the end product is prepared, and so on. There are certain opportunities and windows where they come to us, ask us for our help to inbuild some automation in some of their processes. Okay. So we as a company, what we do in those kind of projects is we get associated at that point in time, go to the plant, see their existing setup, understand their requirement, and then work around. In this particular setup, what is that we can do to fit an automatic system to enhance your productivity, to reduce labor, to give you,
understand
bring in efficiencies, bring in consistencies, improve the quality of production, and so on. So we do all of that in both the stages. As I said, something which is pretty new in nature and something which is brownfield, which is already operational in nature. So that is how we get associated with most of our customers.
Greenfield and brownfield.
Brownfield, yes.
That's nice. I mean, anyone can incorporate automation at any stage.
Yes, there are also cases where customers expand their buildings to incorporate automation. If they have the luxury of land space, we
obviously
also have,
everybody wants to increase their business.
Yes.
My last question to you is, can you please elaborate Alligator Automations portfolio? Okay.
So at Alligator Automations, we do something called as end-of-line packaging automations. So to simply make you understand, any customer producing any kind of product, okay, we actually give solutions after the product is ready to be packed. We help them do the primary packaging, we help them do the secondary packaging. So primary packaging is handling their product. It could be, let's say, powder or a granule. We make machines which can automatically pack them into bags. Okay, so we call that as a primary packaging segment because we are handling the finished product of the customer raw. Second stage is secondary packaging. So for example, already packed small product has to be re-put into a carton, or let's say a pouch has to be put in a bag, or anything of that kind which is packed has to be repacked. We call that as secondary packaging. So we do something called as case packaging automations, where we actually do case packaging lines. Case packaging lines is any product which is shipped in the market in a carton form. The way it is packed in their factories, we partner with our customers and build solutions to do that automatically without any manpower involved. Then we are also doing palletizing solutions. So in palletizing solutions, converting these cartons or bags into a pallet form. It could be, let's say, a half-ton pallet, 1-ton pallet, depending on the weight and the size of the product. Then once the pallet is formed, the fourth of our verticals is interlogistic conveying solutions. So what we do here, any product, it could be bag, it could be box, it could be crate, it could be drum, it could be pail. What we do here is we handle these products from one place to the other and transfer them through various processes within the plant. Okay, we do mechanical engineering of all these handling solutions, we do instrumentation, we add electronics and electrical panels to it, we bring all these equipments to life by adding our softwares. So we as an engineering company we combine all these engineering streams and build a solution on intralogistic conveyors. We are also pretty strong in pallet handling. So when you say pallet handling, transferring of pallets from the packaging area to the warehouse, from the warehouse to the dispatch area, and so on. Taking the empty pallets back to the packaging line, we do all of this. Then comes, last but not the least, we are also doing automatic truck loading solutions. Okay, so truck loading solutions is at the end of the factory, once they have to ship their finished product into a truck, container, or a trailer. So we have solutions which actually pick up the pallets from the warehouse. We can depalletize the product, prepare the entire virtual truck. It could be anywhere from 10 tons to 30 tons. And the entire 30 tons in a single shot is loaded into the truck or a container.
Automated.
Fully automated. So these are broadly the 5 various categories in which we as an engineering company provide all our solutions. And we also do everything end-to-end, concept to commissioning. When you say concept to commissioning, we cover the entire spectrum of planning, sales, engineering, mechanical, control engineering, software engineering, manufacturing the machines, assembling the machines in our shop. Then we also do testing of all these equipments. We also go to the site, end user site, install the machines, commission the machines, do the production runs, hand it over to the client. And of course, we take care of the entire life cycle of the machine in terms of spare parts, AMCs, and we are their partners till the time our customers use all our machines. So that in short is what we do.
So Alligator has solution for all the industrial issues.
Yeah, so we help all our customers improve their factory operations, make them efficient, and we work with multi-dimensional sectors as well, covering food, beverage. We do projects for cement, chemical, e-commerce, paper industry, tire industry, white goods. So I think we are spread across many industries. Yeah.
And there is a misconception because of automation, people lose their job. Is it true?
Not really. As you rightly said, this is a misconception. See, generally, the way we look at it, what happens is somebody in any of the factories, okay, whatever laborious job he is doing, okay, when you put a machine or an automation, there are new opportunities and needs generated within the plant. So, for example, if there were 5 people doing some pick and place activity, now you put a machine, you need a person who can operate the machine.
Okay.
You need a person who can actually go to the machine and troubleshoot the machine.
Right.
You have a need of a team which can actually maintain multiple such machines. Okay. So, in short, we are trying to elevate the nature of the job and create new opportunities within the industry.
Right.
So you cannot really relate that with elimination of jobs. It is, I would say, improving the nature and the kind of job and elevating his individual lifestyle as well.
Thank you for clearing this misconception.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much.